So I was scrolling through my Twitter feed, the X feed, and just wanted to just give my opinion on some things that I was seeing here. I titled this "Unless You Pay and Control for the Politicians." Hold on, let me edit this. Unless you pay, unless you pay for and control the politicians, they probably don't work for you. Some people know this and they just pretend. Some people is cool taking a bad deal, and the haters definitely want you to take a bad deal.
How do you feel about reparations for African Americans?
I think there's a strong moral case for reparations for Black Americans. I don't tell people that I'm going to do that because for two reasons. One is the
Now look at this. This guy, he's not talking to Clyde Anderson. He's not even talking to Thomas Sowell, anybody like that. He's talking to Tasha K.
reparations for systemic racism since
I was able to say that. I mean, he's not really trying to. I don't think he's really trying to make any difference. And even if he was, he's not competent enough. It doesn't seem. Who knows why he's really running?
the Civil War.
But a lot of there's some black people that need to realize it's going to be black people that don't even want to see black people do good. So definitely, some of them don't want to see black people do good, and they'll use as many different tactics as they can to hate and deceive.
Are now clearly illegal under the Harvard decision that was written by John Roberts and by judges that Trump appointed. So it's now off the table. You could do legally, it would probably pass constitutional muster to do reparations if you could directly trace your ancestry to slavery. And that would pass constitutional muster, but then you would have to get Congress to appropriate the money, and that will never happen. So I don't tell people I'm going to do things that I know I can't do or I believe I can. So I muster, but then you would have to get Congress to appropriate the money, and that will never happen.
Why not? She should have asked why not. Or a good question could have been, good follow-up question is why not?
So I don't tell people.
Because if you are a taxpayer and you are a citizen, you should be able to get represented by Congress. And if it's agreed upon that it's legal, that is justified to, like I said, you're dealing with haters. So you're going to have to separate yourself from haters by directly being better than them in many different ways, if not every way possible, because they basically cancers on society and progress.
People, I'm going to do things.
You got to let them fall by the wayside and let nature take its course. You get a parasite, a host, they live longer.
I know I can't do, or I believe I can do. I tell people I'm going to.
They have no hosts.
And I know I can do. And if you look at my program for restoring Black communities, the education system, but also getting capital into Black neighborhoods, to making sure that
so he want a middleman.
The education system, but also getting. And I know I can do. And if you look at my program for restoring Black communities, the education system, but also getting
just implement your program then, and we'll get behind you. Do it. See, this is like a sleight of hand. They say, "Hey, put me in a position, then I can do this stuff." No, let's go ahead and start showing us your references. This is business. Let's show us your track record. This is business. People getting emotional about this stuff, man. And I blame a lot of different things. we are purposely miseducated, it seems. Not too many people agree that the education system is doing good. So a lot of people have their gripes about the educational system. We know this.
So, and if you look at my program,
Looking to these incompetent people for whatever reason they are incompetent, whether it be purposeful or not, it really don't matter their intent. If they results ain't getting us what we need, then they don't need to be there. The emperor has no clothes, and people understand this, but they want to waste other people's time by arguing for whatever reasons, but typically because they just don't want to do nothing. They cool with the status quo, or at least they'll go along with it.
are restoring Black communities, the education system, but also getting capital into Black neighborhoods to make it.
He want the people to squander the money to be the middleman. I don't trust these people to handle the money like that. Like, dude, just it shows what you can do. If not, then you seem like a fraud to me. It'd be nice if other people kind of thought like that.
Making sure that there's only 25 Black banks
It'd
left
be
in this country.
What?
less room for
Of
scammers
25
to
Black banks, there's hundreds of them,
continue to waste
and they're
time.
all underfunded because the Fed does not give them money. So so if you live in a Black neighborhood, you're not going to get a home improvement loan. You're not going to get a business loan. And if you
Yeah, we know
Black
that.
neighborhood, you're not going to get 25
We
Black
know that.
banks. There was hundreds of them,
Dude,
and they're all underfunded because the Fed does not give
so
them
he
money.
basically saying everybody in
So
the position that in the government right now is corrupt or incompetent because this has been going on for years and years and years, and they still can't find a solution. But yet we it's one solution. We say, well, the reparations. Then no. We're just gonna keep doing the same thing, and basically doing the carrot kind of thing.
So if you live in a Black neighborhood,
They
you're
just
not
dangle
going
the
to get a
carrot.
home improvement loan.
It's
You're not
BS.
going to get a business loan. And if you starve neighborhoods of capital, you're going to create crime waves. And
Yeah, we know that.
that's what's happening in the Black communities. There's no equity left. They've systematically been stripped of equity, so people don't own houses.
And he just said we systematically. So but he don't want to. He don't want to give the people the funds. He said it's an economic thing, but he don't want to give Black people directly the funds to do what they want. They want middleman programs so they can get paid and monitor. I don't want you to get too big because you might do better than us, and we understand that they jealous folks. So it is what it is.
Left. They've systematically been stripped of equity.
And not
so
everybody
people don't own
like them,
houses,
but
which means they can't borrow money.
we know it's a large number of
which means even if they have an
I don't need
entrepreneurial
to go through
impulse,
the line and
they can't
try to
pursue it.
individually
They're not
pick
part
one
of the
out.
American system
The good
because
one
they
from the
do
bad
not have ownership. And that is systematic. And I could talk to you about that all night. My program is to get equity back into those communities, to get
You ain't talking
capital
about
back into those communities, to
economics
get
and doing good
financial
business and let's just keep it
intelligence and information. In other words, accrued financial knowledge to the people so that they can start businesses.
I
I've
don't
been
necessarily
doing
want
this
to get
for
to know
40 years. I've been on the board. My father started Edward Stuyvesant Restoration to restore economically the poorest neighborhoods in New York. Edward Stuyvesant, when he died, I took his place on the board, and it is a model community development.
Where is this
corporation. It
place?
is on the board and restoration to restore economically the poorest neighborhoods in New York.
BS.
Edward Stuyvesant, when he died, I took his place on the board, and it is a model community development corporation. We have brought all of the stores.
Never heard of it.
Up.
Why ain't it been duplicated
In that
already?
community, you had to go 75 blocks to go shopping at a grocery store. Now we brought grocery stores to that community.
He's talking too much. See, this is the thing. Like, man, you ain't saying none of that. Look, let's just talk about the money, man. This is business. I don't need to hear too many words. Just get the numbers. When we need to have markers. Like, this is something we can measure. How much? When can you get it? You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, what are the terms? Oh, let's BS. Like, dude,
that community is exploding.
You just saying words and you
know
don't even talk good.
I know how to do it, and that is what I'm going to do as president. It's going to be one of my big focuses, and also fixing the education system so Black families have
Fix it now. What's the? This is why you know they ain't really trying to do nothing. What's the plan? What's your plan? It's a wait and see. They it's like a three car money type of thing. Wait and see. Elect me, and then I'm gonna tell you. And then it don't work, and then we gotta wait another 4 years. Hey,
Need to have charter schools where if the public school's not working for me, you
I
go
mean, just
another
a straight up
public school,
hater
which is
move.
a
I
charter.
wouldn't get his hater the time of day. Like, hell out of here.
Chicago on purpose because they are what? The two blackest cities in America. They're the two largest cities in America. Bottom line is when Joe Biden got elected, he said he wanted to fast track 4 million undocumented residents to full citizenship. Black people completely ignored it. I spoke on it. I said, do you know why he want to fast track 4 million? Because he know he's not going to do nothing for.
I gotta ask some black people about this. What are your thoughts on that? He done fast track people that don't like him.
He said he wanted to fast track 4 million
Or us, don't like
undocumented
us.
Residents to full
They
citizenship.
don't like me either like that.
Black people completely ignored it. I spoke on it. I said, do you know why he want to fast track 4 million? Because he know he's not going to do nothing for us. We ain't going to be motivated to vote for him November. So what he's going to do is have these migrants already set up with citizenship so they can replace the black vote that he loses. The migrants are being put in our communities on purpose, New York and Chicago on purpose, because they are what? The two blackest cities in America. They're the two largest cities in America. They're the two most politically conscious.
Now, I'm going to hear that I mean, some of what he is saying may be true. Some of it may be false, maybe a mixture. That's to question everything.
Black communities in America. So if we can wash out the black with the brown in New York, if we can wash out the black with the brown in Chicago, Philly don't stand a chance. Atlanta don't stand a chance. LA, Houston, Dallas.
This is a disgrace. Like, we've already seen what happened to other cities when other groups came in and claimed to be allies, or at least black people thought was their allies, and they turned on them. This happened several times. The Italians, the Mexicans, and with all these other people of color. They're not here to help you out. And some people know that and will still go. See, the thing is, the real problem is the people who didn't know it, or the people that don't want to see it and continue to let this stuff happen. When really, like that dude that was working with Trump, the one black dude that was talking about the Jim Crow era, he said, it's not just about jobs, it's about generational wealth. That should be everybody's goal, I would think, especially if this would be the greatest country on earth.
Detroit, Chicago don't stand a chance. The migrants are here for 3 reasons: replace us at the polls, replace us at the low-end industry jobs. They're not the enemy. The problem is black us at the low-end industry jobs. They're not the enemy. The problem is black people don't stand a chance.
He said something about them taking low-end jobs, and that's not necessarily true. I mean, it's illegals or foreigners, or maybe the illegals don't take some of the high-end jobs, because you do have people that are here on visas, or from other countries like India that do tech and stuff like that. But they kind of seem like some of them do it more so the legal way. But they are over here and they are taking jobs, and even the people that's not over here, you got customer service jobs that get taken. Not even just from the illegals, but from the people from overseas that are doing the remote. A lot of jobs they want you to be bilingual anyway. So I mean that right there is creating a disadvantage, or at least like if you going for a customer service job and you black, or even if you white and you don't speak Spanish, then this other person who does speak Spanish, they have the advantage to get the job at that point. And it's stupid to give other people come outside your country the advantage. And this is one of the problems with America. But haters run the country, and a lot of cowards let a lot of this stuff go. So the haters are self-destructive people. So they'll do stuff to just mess good things up. And he said they not our enemies. Well, if they coming over here taking resources, I kind of consider that an enemy. We don't have to hate each other. You know, I just don't. I don't consider that an ally. If you would go against me getting something, and then you're coming over here taking resources that I could be having as a citizen, and you coming over here legally, and then you don't want to give me don't want me to have the same resources you have, and then you want to talk trash when you done fled. So I don't. I somebody like that. Why even be around them? They couldn't bother to be around their own folks. So I don't want them around me. Especially if they ain't gonna fight.
Chance. Atlanta don't stand
They
a
ain't gonna
chance.
fight for his right. That's cowardly to me. I'm not saying the person always got to be brave, but geesh,
LA,
you can't go. They go 3 for 10. Cowardice over bravery. They got to be a higher percentage.
You ain't feeling Drake using the N-word.
Nah, because you see what I'm saying? Because you're too. That's not who you know. That's not who you really are. Like I could see you going back to the white people when nobody's around and be like, yeah. And I say nigger in my rhymes, and they don't say anything to me. That's because they.
Nah, I said they so. Oh, Drake knows. He didn't put on blackface.
He's around and be like, yeah. And I say nigger in my rhymes, and they don't say anything to me. That's because they think I'm one of them. But I'm really with you. Like, and then he goes back, yeah, you know who really banging set, my nigga CB. And it's like, come on, man. Real, you know what I mean? You gotta choose a lane, bro. Choose a lane. And he wanna be everything to all people, it seems like, and you can't do that. You gotta pick a side.
That's a good point. I'm glad Art of Dialogue is interviewing Lord Jamar, because Lord Jamar, when he do like the interview settings like Charleston White, I think he's entertaining and informational and insightful. You got a pretty good perspective on things. Not to say he's always right, not to say that he doesn't lie, not to say he's not wrong. Everybody does those things, and everybody is flawed. So at any given time, somebody can be lying. So stuff need to be questioned. Biggest thing is try to get understanding.
But I don't personally listen to Drake. Like, I'm not a Drake album fan.
And now I want to hand it over.
He said he's not a Drake album fan, but maybe not a Drake album fan, but Drake got some hits.
He has as much courage as he has determination.
Whether he wrote them or not, I don't know.
And now I want to hand it over to the president.
That does kind of in rap, you are supposed to be able to write your own rhymes. Unless you just a producer and everybody know you a producer, you don't rap. But to try to come out like, no.
And now I want to hand it over to the president of Ukraine, who has as much courage as he has determination. Ladies and gentlemen, President Putin.
President Putin.
President Putin. We're going to beat President Putin. And
wow.
Now I want to hand it over to the president of Ukraine, who has as much courage as he has determination. Ladies and gentlemen, President Putin.
He said, huh?
President Putin.
Yeah, he acknowledged it at first.
President Putin.
He tripping.
President Putin.
President Putin.
President
Who do you work for?
President Putin. We're going to beat President Putin. And now I want to hand it over to the president of Ukraine,
At least he called it.
who has as much courage as he has.
He didn't realize he made a mistake in what he
Ladies and
said.
gentlemen, President Putin. President Putin.
Wow.
We're going to beat
Is
President
that how you
Putin.
feel about President
Now I
Putin?
want to hand it over to the president of Ukraine, who has as much courage as he has determination. Ladies and gentlemen, President Putin.
Let me hear him feeling his Zelensky like that.
We're going to beat President Putin. Now I want to hand it over to the president of Ukraine, who has as much courage as he has determination. Ladies and gentlemen, President Putin. President Putin. We've got
Wow. That's why I saw something. Lil Duval said, Lil Duval, he said Biden could go in a coma and his supporters still gonna vote for him, and Trump could admit to a murder and his supporters still gonna vote for him. So it's useless arguing with each other. That's true. But it's people like to argue. Some people like to argue. They'll come around just to argue, whether they can help it or not. Just to waste time or go in the circles. Maybe make them feel good or something. I don't know. I'm gonna do one more thing here. Let me see. It says Billboard is named Nas debut album Illmatic as the best rap album of all time. That's cap. Who was on that staff? Were they even black people on that staff? Illmatic? Hell nah. That's on Billboard. Top 10 rap albums. A lot of these things just get you talking, but I don't think no black people really be on these boards. Slick Rick. The Great Adventures of Slick Rick, number 10. No. All Eyes on Me. I mean, this some great albums, but I don't know about top 10. Like Illmatic, I would say it was a great album, had some great songs, but I don't know about a great album to me, just from what I look for. But yeah, great rapper. If we talk about top 10 great albums of all time, no, I like some other ones. I liked It Was Written better. So I don't know. You'll see. Like It Was Written. That was a lot more songs on there that I really liked. Songs that I'll still listen, but a lot of this stuff, some of this stuff, you can't listen to this day. I think he had that song "It Ain't Hard to Tell." That was a real nice song. You can every time I hear that song, I listen to it. But Dre, The Chronic, I mean, it's an iconic record, but a lot of songs I still remember. I mean, it was a great record. I mean, great album, but I don't know. I like the older Outkast. Life After Death was a good album, but I wouldn't put it in the top 10. All Eyes on Me though, that's a great album. Just remembering all the people, and just sometimes I remember where I was at when I first heard it. I was playing basketball at the gym, and some dudes from the Lincoln Courts, another neighborhood, had they was actually bumping on like a radio or something like that. The boom box, I think it was like a boom box or something. But yeah, that was a big album. Doggy Style was cool too. I just didn't like some of the songs. I didn't like all the songs. They gotta have like, to me, like majority of the songs gotta be cool for me to think it's like a great album. Like Twist, Adrenaline Rush, really wasn't a bad song on an album. UGK, Riding Dirty, like that's a top 10 album. UGK, Master P, Ghetto Dope. These like albums that really changed something, or really had like a vibe to them. Like I said, a lot of these Fade and Fool, I don't really, a little bit before my time, but I remember some of the songs, but I don't remember listening to the whole album. But I need to probably go back because Eric B, Rakim, they're pretty fly dudes, man. It was kind of showcasing New York fashion. Eric B seemed like he was the boss. He ain't even rap. he looked like the most important person in the group. That's back when DJs was real like a lot of times the DJs was the ones that had the top billing. Jay-Z the Blueprint. I'm trying to think of a blueprint. I like Reasonable Doubt better. I would say Reasonable Doubt maybe it's a top 10 album, but I'm about the Blueprint. I had to listen to some of these again. I don't remember one song. But Lauryn Hill, I mean, she has some great songs, but I don't remember just going through her album. The song that was great, but I don't remember just going through listening to her album. I just like most of the commercial stuff. But that's interesting. Billboard. Man, Billboard wouldn't even touch this stuff back in the day. A lot of the times, like I'll just end it with this. Like I said, a lot of people try to use the black culture as a way to be cool with their group. And then they don't come in with being made to acknowledge where they get the stuff from and paying respect. So then what happens is if they have a little bit of knowledge of it, then they act like they know more and then they try to take credit. It continues to happen. At what point is enough enough?